A moment in almost every high-stakes conversation where one person talks too much, and the other person, the one who stays quiet, wins. FBI negotiators know this. Detectives know this. The best salespeople in the world know this. And the most powerful leaders you've ever met, they've all mastered the same trick. It's called the strategic pause. And once you understand how it works on the human brain, you will never lose control of a conversation again. Now, I want to be clear about something before we go further. This isn't about manipulation. This isn't a trick to trap people. This is about understanding how silence functions as a psychological force and using it with precision, the way trained professionals do. We're going to break down exactly what happens in someone's brain the moment you go silent on them. We'll look at how interrogators weaponize it, how negotiators use it to close deals, and, most importantly, how you can apply this in your own life, starting today. But here's what most people get completely backwards about silence, and it's costing them in every negotiation, every hard conversation, every job interview they've ever walked into. Stay with me. Let's start with the science, because this is where it gets fascinating. When there's a silence in a conversation, the human brain doesn't just sit there patiently, it panics. Psychologists call it the social pressure of unfilled space. We are wired, evolutionarily, to fill silence. Silence historically meant danger. It meant something was wrong. So our nervous system kicks in and says, talk, say something, fix this. And when we talk to fill silence, we give away information we never intended to share. Think about the last time someone asked you something uncomfortable and just stared at you, waiting. What did you do? Most people start over-explaining, backtracking, offering details that weren't even asked for. That's not weakness, that's biology. And master interrogators, people like former FBI agent Chris Voss, who negotiated hostage situations for decades, they've turned this biological reflex into a science. Voss talks about something he calls the power of no answer. The idea that the moment you stop racing to respond, you shift the psychological weight of the conversation entirely onto the other person. The silence becomes their problem to solve, not yours. Let me walk you through how this looks in a real interrogation room. A detective sits across from a suspect. The suspect has just finished answering a question. A normal person in that room would immediately ask the next question. Keep the rhythm going, keep the flow. But a trained interrogator, they do nothing. They hold eye contact. They might nod, very slightly, but they say nothing. And here's what happens on the other side of the table. The suspect, who just answered the question, starts to wonder, did that answer land? Do they believe me? Should I say more? Did I say too much? Should I clarify? Within 7 to 10 seconds, a significant number of suspects begin to voluntarily add information. They start filling the silence. They start talking. And sometimes, that extra information is exactly what the interrogator was waiting for. This technique has a name in law enforcement circles. It's called the pause and hook. You ask the question, you get the answer, and then you hook. You let the silence do the follow-up work for you. Now here's the part that most people teaching negotiation completely skip over. It's not just about staying quiet. It's about what your body is doing while you're quiet. Interrogators are trained to hold what's called a neutral, expectant face. Not aggressive, not warm, just waiting, like they have all the time in the world. Because the moment you look uncomfortable with the silence, the moment your eyes dart away or you laugh nervously, you've just told the other person, this silence bothers me too. And the power evaporates. Now, most videos on this topic stop here.
They tell you to use silence and send you on your way.
But here's where most people completely blow it when they try this in real life. Because there are actually 3 different types of strategic silence. And if you use the wrong one in the wrong situation, it doesn't just fail, it backfires. Badly. That's exactly what we're getting into next.
All right, let's break this down practically. There are 3 types of silence that trained negotiators and interrogators use, and each one has a different purpose. The confirmation silence. This one comes after someone makes a statement you agree with. Instead of saying yes or exactly, you simply nod. You let the silence confirm their point without giving anything away about where you stand. This is powerful in negotiations because it creates perceived alignment without any actual commitment from you. This is the interrogation classic. You ask a question, you get an answer. You don't respond.
You let the weight of the room build. This is most effective after a deflective or vague answer, when you sense the other person is holding something back. The silence signals, I'm not moving on. I'm waiting for more. Used well, this extracts the real answer within seconds.
Type 3, the reset silence. This one is less about the other person and more about you. When a conversation escalates, when someone says something designed to rattle you, when you feel the emotional pull to react immediately, you don't. You breathe. You take 3 to 5 full seconds before responding. This does 2 things simultaneously. It keeps your prefrontal cortex in charge instead of your amygdala, meaning you respond with strategy instead of emotion. And it signals to the other person that you are completely unshakable. The most powerful people in any room are never the loudest. They're the ones who never seem rushed. So let's make this real. Here's exactly how you practice this. Because like any skill, it feels deeply uncomfortable at first. Step 1. Notice your reflex. Start paying attention to when you rush to fill silence. In meetings, in arguments, in sales calls. Just notice it this week. Don't even try to change it yet. Step 2. Practice the 5-second rule. Before responding to any significant statement or question, count to 5 internally. Not obviously. Just breathe. Let the space exist. See what happens on their end. Step 3. Pair silence with the neutral, expectant face. Soft eyes, slight forward lean, mouth closed, eyebrows neutral, not furrowed, not raised. You're not threatening. You're simply waiting, like you've got nowhere else to be. Step 4. Let their discomfort be their problem. This is the hardest step. When someone looks at you, waiting for you to speak, and you feel the pull to rescue the moment. Don't. The discomfort is doing the work for you. Here's what I want you to do this week. Pick one conversation, a meeting, a negotiation, even a difficult talk with someone close to you, and try the 5-second rule. Just once. Then come back and drop it in the comments. Tell me what happened, because I genuinely want to know. And honestly, the stuff people share in the comments on videos like this is always more interesting than the video itself. If this was useful to you, share it with one person who talks too much in negotiations. You know exactly who that is. And if you want to go deeper on the psychology of influence and persuasion, the next video is going to break down something equally powerful: how elite negotiators read micro-expressions in real time. You'll want to see that one. Silence isn't empty. It's the most loaded thing you can put in a conversation. Use it right, and the room shifts. Every time. I'll see you in the next one.